We'll see.
We'll see.
I have some plans in the works.
You have some plans in the works. Yeah.
Look, we're going to do the fifth
The
one.
most important one is Barbie, all right? We all know this.
Griffin.
Highest viewer counts. Whatever.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, that one.
What's poppin', y'all? Welcome to Post Finale. I'm your host, Ankit Madhira. I'm an actor and a musician who has not seen a lot of films, so to make my friends happy and potentially provide a new perspective on some popular films, I am on a quest to change that. I'm not on this quest alone, however. This week, I am once again joined by one of my closest friends and someone who has been on this podcast multiple times. I think they hold the record for most guest appearances, as this being number 8. So
it is.
It is number 8, my friend, and also the co-host of To Be Titled Later podcast, Griffin Stofer. Griffin, welcome back for your 8th appearance.
Apparently, this time I got sparkles.
Wee!
I was at a thrift store, and I was like, "Well, this sucks. It's mine now."
Hey, I like it.
It's a Bullen shirt ass fit for sure.
I like it.
No, I like it a lot. It just kind of sucks.
Why does it suck?
I don't know, the material. Material ain't great. Not gonna lie.
Okay. Fair.
I feel like it could fall apart at any moment, but also
it's cool. Sparkles.
Yeah. Really living my best life.
Good. Wonderful. Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, when Griffin is the guest, we are here for some tomfoolery of Barbie movies.
That's all I have.
Yeah, every now and again, we have to take a break from critically acclaimed films and well-made films. Not saying that these are not well-made. These are well-made films.
Critically acclaimed for something.
Hey, this one got nominated for 2 awards, and I'll tell you about it at the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah, I don't look up that stuff, so I only did my research on the first one.
Yeah. But I mean, they're well-made films. They are fun films. They're fun films for kids. Every now and again, we got to take a look at it. So, this time around, we're back talking about Barbie Mariposa and her butterfly friends, or as Griffin told us in the last episode, depending on where you see it, I guess you have a different title.
I think the title card in the movie is always the same, but it's just like the labeling on the box.
Fair. I mean, we're probably just going to name these episodes something in Barbie Mariposa, and we're just going to leave it at that. So, wonderful. Now, Griffin, I have another question for you, as always.
The very important question.
The very important question. If you lived in this universe, who would you want to be?
Now, are we talking a specific person, or can I get wacky with it and be like a general position in the world?
No, like a specific character.
Fine. Make me Mirabella. I want to sleep for 2 days straight and potentially die. All
right, and general position?
Oh no, the guards seem to have it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Nothing goes on there.
I'd want to be a guard if it was general position. If not, I would want to be Willa because she's sassy.
Willa is fun. Willa is fun for sure, yeah. We love Willa. Glad she has a lot to do this movie. I was very worried at the beginning that, much like Dandelion, she'd just be like abandoned and then forgotten about.
Oh, I had complete faith that she was going to be abandoned and forgotten about.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh boy, can't wait for another best friend to be left by the wayside for no reason other than they didn't want to write or pay the voice actor or something. But no, we're good. She's in. She's great.
Yeah. Let her do more.
Please.
But
who's that voice actress? I'll find it.
Wonderful. I will continue. So, meanwhile, where we are, we see some lights outside, and the far one goes out. Oh no. And Willa hears Hannah talking about bringing the queen something and decides to eavesdrop.
Bless you.
Who? Henna says that she wishes for more than anyone that they could help the queen, but everyone knows that Iliosa doesn't exist, and Prince Carlos is clutching at fairy tales. Technically, isn't every story that you tell a fairy tale?
That one got me too. I was like, dog, y'all are fairies. What do you mean fairy tales? That's just tales to you.
Just a tale.
What?
What? It's the same way of a map and a compass in the last one. It's like, no. You're fairies. It would have made more sense if it was he's getting lost in pixie tales.
But those exist too.
Right, but maybe the pixies like tell tall tales.
Oh, they're liars.
They're little liars, which is why they're the servant class.
Yeah, that's why they've been delegated the servant class forever.
It's because they lied back in the day. Yes.
Remember when I read you a whole monologue about anti-Semitism in movies, specifically the Barbie movies?
Yeah.
Imagine back towards that.
That was a time.
This one, it's
Yeah,
fun stuff.
Cool. We've had a lot of good times.
We've had a lot of good things.
Doing dumb stuff on this show.
Research episodes exist somewhere.
They're up. They're on the Patreon.
Are they?
Yeah.
I kept looking and I never saw it. Maybe I'm just looking wrong.
Okay. I'll send you the link later. Once I have.
That'd be very helpful because I have people asking me about them too.
Oh, yes. Once I have free time, I'll send you the link.
I'll look after this as well.
No promises. Yeah. Cool. But they are fun research episodes, ladies and gentlemen. Go check them out. They do exist.
There's something.
They're a time. They are a time. So Henna reminds the Lord Gastrus. Yeah, that's his name, Lord Gastrus. I almost wanted to name him Lord Gastrodon, and I was like, no, that's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that could be a Lord, but
pretty sick Pokemon too. I mean, honestly, water, ground, great typing.
Great typing.
Real weakness is like grass, and that's that Pokemon Quagsire. Those are like the reasons why everybody has to have a grass type Pokemon, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or at least a grass move.
Grass move.
To be fair, 4 times weakness means you don't necessarily need the stab bonus.
You just need the move.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, Henna reminds Lord Gastrus that he is in charge, and if he believes that putting fairies' lives at risk and searching for the Ilios antidote is a good thing, then he has her full support. Damn, Henna, you manipulative. Nice.
Good save.
What? That wasn't... What was I saving from?
You didn't say a naughty word that would have to get censored.
Oh, yeah. So Lord Gastrus says that it is ridiculous, and Henna says that he should check in with the prince. Willa sees that Henna pours the poison into the queen's mouth and reveals that she will soon rule all of Flutterfield. Cool. So now Willa knows that Henna is the evil one. Lovely.
Poorly timed monologue.
Fantastic. Great
stuff.
Now, Willa conveniently waited to see what Henna was going to do, and then follows Lord Gastrus to see where the prince is locked up. She tries to talk to him through a window, but he can't hear her. She keeps trying. He finally understands that something Mariposa. Don't know how we put that together, but sure, why not?
He heard some words.
He
read lips.
Understood the lip reading. Cool, good for him. Now, Carlos gets Lord Gastrus to open the door, and Willa sneaks in. And Carlos hints at her to get the key on Lord Gastrus's belt. And this is what I'm saying, as we mentioned in the last one. We don't know if these doors are locked or not because she was just trying to talk through the window. She never had the thought, go through the door.
Nope.
Willa never had the thought, so we don't know. She might have been able to push open those doors.
Who knows? Point is, open now.
They're open now. Willa's inside. And just as she is about to grab the key off of Lord Gastrus's belt, he moves. Now, we got a fun little sequence of her trying to grab the key.
You gotta, right?
You gotta. Nah. It's really obvious. I did enjoy Carlos of like how he was like dropping the hints, but then also it was still like a fairly casual conversation with Castris.
Yeah, it wasn't the most obtrusive one where it's like super obvious what they're going for.
Right.
Now, in words, in speech, he put the emphasis heavily on the word key.
Yeah. No.
It was kind of obvious.
It was obvious, but Castris ain't the brightest.
No, he's very dumb.
He's a bumbling buffoon.
He's just a guy.
He's just
literally just a girl.
Just a guy doing his best.
So yeah.
Let's be real. He ain't doing his best.
Yeah, no.
Willa grabs the key. Castris heads out. Willa opens the door, reveals to Carlos that, Henna wants to take over Flutterfield and gave the queen some sort of tonic. And I like the word tonic. Good vocabulary for a film for young children.
They whipped out the thesaurus on that one.
Yeah.
But it's probably the biggest. Well, that's probably I'm not going to say biggest because it's not that long of a word, but it's probably the most.
It's the most poignant word that we've had so far. So, meanwhile, our other fairy friends, Mariposa and the Snooties, they have made it to a place where a little bunny-like creature is throwing rocks at them. And we learn that this is Zinzi the Miwa.
I hate Zinzi.
Why?
She doesn't compare to Bibble.
Oh, she is significantly inferior.
Yeah, I hate when the mascots say words. And also, I don't know. I generally hate little mascot characters. Baby Yoda can suck it.
Okay. I know exactly what I'm clipping and putting on the internet just for fun. Just that.
Yeah? I'll
just
take it. Email me at tbtlpod@gmail.com.
The entire clip is just going to be you saying Baby Yoda can suck it, and then email me.
I stand by that. I don't like mascot characters.
I'm here to have some fun with the social media.
Go for it.
So, my problem with Zinzi is that Zinzi can also fly.
What? Huh? They all fly. Everybody flies except for Alina in the first movie. Which is the point, but they all fly.
Not the mermaids.
They fly in the water.
Let Zinzi just be a bunny.
Yeah, but then how would she get anywhere?
I don't know. Hop.
Jump.
Hoppity hop. I said be a bunny. I never said the bunny can't have massive jumps.
You're so right. just basically fly. Just jump.
Launch themselves, but just, jumping.
Real far.
Yeah.
Crazy glutes, dude.
Works out.
Shredded rabbit. So, she's throwing seeds at them because it's funny. Zinzi wants to play and doesn't see a lot of others in the bewilderness. And they're like, oh, they've made it here. And they're like, yay. And Zinzi joins in on the celebrating. And I did laugh at this. And she's like, what? I just want to celebrate.
Zinzi says that, the center of the bewilderness is far away and dangerous. And the only ones that can get them there are the brave Miwas. And, she can take you there. But she's not that brave. And Zinzi says that, I love fluttercorn because she smells some fluttercorn, which I'm guessing is just like popcorn. So Mariposa,
a single rabbit character that isn't just addicted to vegetables, in one movie, literally ever for kids, like just one movie, any kids movie. I don't care which one, just a rabbit that's not addicted to vegetables like it's a drug.
Well, in The Secret Life of Pets, he's not. Snowball?
There's the one then.
There's the one.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, dude, it's great. Snowball is voiced by Kevin Hart, and he wants revenge.
Oh, that's why you like it. Okay.
Well, no, I watched it on a plane. I just like the fact that the bunny rabbit is the softest, cutest one, but is like, give me revenge on all the humans.
That's just hoodwinked.
Yeah, but Hoodwinked cares about carrots, doesn't he?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never seen Hoodwinked.
It's been forever. I'm not gonna watch that with you. I don't want to.
I don't even know what it is.
It's an animated movie for kids.
Okay.
There you go.
Sure.
It's not good enough for this podcast.
And this is
Barbie Fairytopia, which is so good.
Yeah. And this is.
Yeah.
So Zinzi, takes the deal that, a whole bag of fluttercorn, she'll take them to the center. And Zinzi takes the deal, is thrilled with the fluttercorn. There is a face carved into whatever this tree rock thing is. And, hey, look, they're at the center of the wilderness. They've made it. They were here all along. Now, they're like, oh, is the whole thing the flower? Because there's no flower, but, like, there's, like, the flower shape on top of the rock. And I was like, well, that seems dumb and too easy. And then Mariposa's like, no, but we need to find the mermaids. And then Zinzi agrees to take them there for more fluttercorn. Why do we need to find the mermaids?
Because there's a mermaid carved into the rock that looks like a flower.
Oh, I missed that.
How? They say it out loud.
I don't know. I just missed it.
The movie ain't subtle.
I was probably taking a note and just didn't hear the line.
So easy. You looked out for like 1 second because you're like, oh, I don't need to pause this movie to take notes. It's so slow and nothing happens. And then you miss like the one time anything happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Happens pretty consistently with these films. You would think I learned. No.
No, because it lulls you into a sense of defenselessness every single time. It's baffling how it manages it, frankly, just so consistently.
Really good at it.
I I also had to stop pausing the movie because I was getting really annoyed by having to unpause and then unmute it because of the Facebook player. So I was just like, fuck it, I missed something.
I was like
writing down the scenes word for word.
I also was like, look, if I miss something, Griffin will know what I missed.
Oh yeah. I figured. I take notes on the weird stuff that happens otherwise.
Right. And I don't usually take notes on the weird stuff. It's a good dichotomy here. So Carlos and Willa watch Henna, and Henna has nothing unordinary, has done nothing unordinary in hours. And Henna breaks off from the group, and they follow her to a cave, because now it's time to do something unordinary. And Willa doesn't like the cave. Carlos says they must find out. And Henna is talking to some Skeezites. And they tell them to be patient. Tonight they can have all the butterfly fairies they can eat. And the Skeezites are like, but we're hungry now. And they start advancing on Willa. Willa pulls out some sort of special light and gets them to fly off. Carlos says that they need some real evidence and must wait here for her to leave. Now, the others have made it to the mermaids, but they can't breathe. And Zinzi says they can. And Bibble interrupts the story. And I'm like, yes, Bibble, more Bibble.
He's right to be mad about this.
Right. He's like, what? No, there's the disgusting seaweed. And then Elena, I don't know. Words are hard. Names are difficult. I'm struggling. Alina.
I work with an Alina, to be fair.
What?
I work with somebody named Alina, but I haven't mentioned to her about this movie, which is a lot of self-restraint on my part.
Hey, Griffin, can you do me a favor?
Yeah?
Can you find out if she's named after Alina in this movie?
Completely differently, and she's older than the movie.
Dang it!
It would be... Are you asking me if I work with like a 19-year-old?
You might.
2005, and their parents were old enough to create a child, but also not too old to have not watched Barbie Fairytopia and been enamored by it, and then named a...
There might have been an older sibling in the mix. I don't know.
Fair. No, it's not. She's not named after the movie.
Shoot. Would have been funny. I'm wondering if you would ever meet someone named Bibble.
No.
Probably not.
No, because it's not a real name.
It would be a fun nickname, though.
Okay. Guess who's getting called Bibble for the rest of their life now? Hi.
You were not calling me Bibble.
My favorite little Bibble. Yo, Bibbly little boy.
Screw you. What have I done?
Started this.
Go back to the one you used to call me in high school. That one's better. I still go by that one.
I don't know what I called you.
Yes, you do.
Dumb bitch.
Okay. Moving on. But Bibble's upset because he's like, yes, they have to eat the disgusting seaweed. And then Alina's like, well, actually, there's another plant which tastes like that, which can also make you breathe underwater. And it tastes like fluff. And Bibble is pissed. And he has every right to be. Because Bibble's like, wait, you're telling me I could have eaten something that tastes like fluff and been able to breathe, but you made me eat bad seaweed? What is wrong with you?
Which, there's two options here then. Either Alina is lying and this story is fake, which I don't believe because that would make sense for the world. It has to be real. Not for any particular reason. I just think it'll be funny for a bit later on, probably.
Yeah.
Or two, she's known about this all along and just
decided to feed Bibble bad seaweed.
Bibble, yeah.
Alina, whatever small sliver of respect I had for you, gone.
Sure, yeah. Weird.
How could you? How could you treat Bibble like that?
Yeah, wacky.
So they dive deep underwater into the realm of the mermaids, and they find two mermaids. One is named Coral, and the other one is named Anemone.
Okay, I love Valley Girl mermaids. That's so funny. I think that's the best joke in this movie. I
laughed out loud constantly throughout all of it.
I don't know if I laughed out loud. I don't remember, but I definitely had a look on my face where I was just like, that's a thing? They decided to do accents in this movie aside from just, like basic Californian American accent that all movies use pretty much. But it's like, okay, the Spanish accents didn't really make sense thematically, or they kind of make sense thematically, but they weren't consistent enough.
Mm-hmm.
But there's Valley Girl mermaids? Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Let's do it. So the mermaids are ignoring them, and Mariposa's trying to explain what they need, but they're just being ignored. And the Snooties realize what's going on, and they're like, wait, why would the mermaids help us unless there's something in it for them? So then the mermaids, they want conkle shells. Now, you can't get the shells without waking up the mini merfolk, and if you wake them, they scream, and then you wake up the sea beast. Why not? Sea Beast hates getting woken up more than anything. And so Reyna has an idea of how to do this. It's her one moment of slight brilliance. So she folds up some petals from one of the underwater plants that look like they are just about the right size, and they switch it out for the shells. And it works, and they celebrate, and I'm like, it's not that easy. And just then, one of the mini merfolk turn, and a rogue piece of this metal, which has stuck up, has decided to make this poor little mini merfolk's nose itch. She sneezes and then wakes up and starts crying. And instead of running away, Mariposa tries to console the mini merfolk. Just swim away. Just swim away. But no, console.
And then they all scream.
Yep. And then the sea beast opens its eyes and starts chasing the fairies, and they try to use the similar trick of hiding like they did earlier. It's not working great. Now,
I've got like a bunch of notes here as well.
Go for it.
One, this like conkle shell minigame side quest thing just screamed video game tie-in to me. I looked
okay.
It doesn't look like it. Maybe there's a DVD extra on the Barbie Mariposa DVD that allowed you to play a game like that. It's probable. I did not watch any videos on it. I don't care. I don't want to know. I hate DVD minigames. They all irritate me with how slow they are. And I hate watching them. Two, who put these babies so close to a sea beast?
No. The sea beast protects them.
From what? The sea beast? Does it protect it from them from itself?
No. The sea beast obviously protects them from harm from others.
I suppose. Not much use when it's asleep.
No, it's daycare for the mini merfolk. While the bigger merfolk go to work. It's daycare.
You're so right. Anyways, what is with this movie and just like freak ass creatures?
Dude, I don't know. I'm confused by
I
it.
like it. I like it. I mean, I hate them, but I like it. I like that they're just like, yeah, let's just put a weirdly human face on some sort of creature and just like make it chase people.
Seems logical to me. I see zero
I mean,
problems with it.
the line between horror and comedy is thinner by the day.
There's a line?
Oh, it's very thin, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's like whole research papers on like the difference between horror and comedy and how they easily swap between the two.
I didn't even realize there was a line anymore.
No,
Fascinating.
that's the bit you're going for. Okay, we're going different directions. Oops, my bad.
we both committed slightly too hard.
Different bits.
It happens. It
I
happens.
was just sharing information, and you were being like,
Come into a bit.
We're all fucked. Oops.
Whoopsies. So, the chase is happening, and one of the snooties gives Coraline and Anemone the shells, and then Coraline and Anemone decide to help out. And, the sea beast corners their friends, but they're saved at the last minute by the mermaids, and they're safe. And the antidote, we learn, is in the Cave of Reflection. Head east and into the monster's mouth. Cool. They get out from under the water and head east to see what they can find. Mariposa is glad that the other fairies are here. They handled the mermaids better than she would. And then one of the snooties, I don't remember which one, is like, well, they reminded us of fairies that we used to know. And I was like, yeah, yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the same thought. We are one person, one mind.
Whew, mind melt. Well, I mean, like, we definitely did not have the same thought about like 30 seconds ago.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was bringing it back. We're back.
We're back. Woo! Baby. We're back. Yeah, nothing happened. Woo. Nothing. Yay. So
possibly happened.
No, of course not. So, where we are, Willa and Carlos are still on the watch, and Carlos says that they must go now, and Willa's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "Carlos, not the brightest here, is he?" Now, the reason that he's not the brightest is that, Henna is still around. She makes a special light with the Ilios and Thistleburst and then flies away. Carlos goes over to her table, and Carlos tells her that, tells Willa that they're going to need more Thistleburst than that because
it's always the Thistleburst.
Yeah. And I love Willa here. She goes, "Of course we will." And then Carlos is just like, "I will find Gastrus." And just without prompting, just goes, "And I will go back to the swamp." And the sass was beautiful. I loved it. It was fantastic. No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
Good luck.
Good luck, my friend. Good luck with that Thistleburst. So she, does that, and Zinzi isn't helping by, saying that the monster could be terrible and whatnot. And then we see the cave, and it's just like the head of it is in the shape of a head of a monster as the entrance. It's not an actual monster.
Yep.
And inside the cave, there are tons of skeezites in the cave. And I was like, why is Zinzi scared? The skeezites haven't canonically said that they eat her. They just eat butterfly fairies.
I think they eat anything, really.
I mean, fair.
But they really, really like
butterfly fairies.
Because they wouldn't be able to sustain themselves if they only eat butterfly fairies exclusively, because all the butterfly fairies are in
Flitterfield? Flutterfield?
Whatever. Because all the fairies aren't there and none of them leave. That's like a noted thing. That's
a good point.
That's why Mariposa is not like the other girls, because she leaves.
That's why she's different.
Yeah. So they can't just sustain themselves on butterfly fairies, and that's why I bet a lot of whatever Zinzi is have been eaten by them.
Good. Zinzi's annoying.
I know. Thank you. Hey, I was right.
I never said you were wrong.
I hate Zinzi.
So, they get past the first few Skeezites, and then they realize that they are in a cave full of Skeezites that the Skeezites probably call home. They see a light and they start heading towards it. Zinzi isn't paying attention because Zinzi is stupid and slams into a stalactite, which then breaks and hits a Skeezite in the head, which was starting to wake up, but then it knocks the Skeezite out. And I was like, how strong is stupid Zinzi that she can break an entire stalactite by flying into it?
Probably loose already, but I will say I am glad that this movie keeps like baiting the they about to wake up and then just doesn't do it. So at least there is like some suspense that it may not happen. Now obviously most of the time they do wake up.
Right.
But like there's multiple other along with that one, there's like a couple other times where they just like don't wake up or notice.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do so many chase scenes in this movie. Just so many chase scenes.
There's so many.
But yeah.
Fine.
They're lucky these things aren't diurnal.
Yeah. Now Zinzi isn't super lucky because a Skeezite wakes up and smells butterfly fairies. So Zinzi starts throwing a seed and rocks at the Skeezites to get them to start fighting so that the fairies can get away. But they get spotted. Zinzi does, because Zinzi is stupid in terms of throwing the seeds.
Yeah, just keeps throwing them, even though the plan worked.
The plan worked. Just fly away. Zinzi flies in circles, gets them dizzy, but then they give chase again. Zinzi makes it out into the small opening just in time to avoid getting eaten by the Skeezite.
Wow.
And
always the small holes that win.
Ooh. And then
that one.
So the fairies are like, wow, we owe you, Zinzi. And Zinzi's just like, I'll accept my payment in Fluttercorn. Shut up, Zinzi.
Hate Zinzi.
Now, they make it to the Cave of Reflection, and they see a light that is flying around, and we learn that it is a tiny fairy. And before we learn how this movie comes to an end, before we learn how this is going to end, we're going to take an intermission. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying this episode of Post Finale. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you enjoy the episode and you are having a good time, please make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube and hit that like button. And please be sure to follow the show if you're listening on any other app like Spotify, Apple Music, etc. It doesn't matter where you're listening for us. It just means so much that you are listening to this episode. And thank you all so much. It really does help out the show and the channel. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Now, if you are enjoying the content and you want to gain access to more content, you can do so by signing up for our Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, we have an update for our patrons. And the update is that Lucy Sadler, thank you so much for upgrading to production manager. It really means a lot to us. Thank you so much. And for anyone else that wants to sign up, gain access to bonus content, you can see tier lists, you can see notes that we have, some bonus videos, some bonus audios, different things like that. You can suggest films that we do. All sorts of things like that can be found on our Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/coopforge. So that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. And thank you so much to anyone who is even considering this. It really does help us out a lot, and thank you. Now, be sure to also follow us on social media for Post Finale. You can find us at Post Finale Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also follow Co-op Forge, where we post a lot of content as well, not just about Post Finale, but for all the shows that we host here on Co-op Forge. So that includes Seattle Across the Pond, and that includes Flip the Scripts. So if you want to follow that one on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, it is at Co-op Forge. So at CO_OPFORGE. And it really does help. The best way to help the show in a non-monetary way, if you want to do that too, is just to talk about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to help grow the show. Just reach out to a friend and be like, hey, you love films, or hey, I know that you need a reason to watch more films. Check out this show where the host is an actor who hasn't seen anything and he's confused most of the time on what's going on. It's silly. It's a fun time. He's really humble. It's a fun, great way to help the show grow and talk about us on social media. It really, really does help. Thank you all so much to anyone who has done this in the past, anyone who will do this in the future. It really does mean the world to us. But that's enough of me rambling on. Once again, if you want to follow us on social media, it's at Post Finale Pod and at Co-op Forge, CO_OPFORGE. And if you want to sign up for the Patreon, again, there is zero pressure to do so. Listening to the show means so much to us. But if you want to do that, it can be found at patreon.com/co-op-forge. So that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. And let's get back to the show.
We're back.
We are back, and we have learned that this tiny little light that's flying around is actually a tiny little fairy, and then the fairy...
Some ribs, dude.
What do you mean they're in ribs?
I thought they flew, like, into a skeleton, because it just, like, the rocks, like, curled up and kind of looked like...
Oh, it did kind of look like that, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I did, like, a consensus that, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Some ribs.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I see what you're putting down.
Cool. Anyways.
Yeah. So, this, little fairy is just like, there are 4 of you. That's too many. One has to stay back. And Zinzi just goes, I'll stay. The rest of you go on. Thank you, Zinzi. Get out of this movie. Now, Mariposa tries to explain, but is told not to speak. And the reflections all start talking to the other fairies. And then at the next checkpoint, Rayla decides to stay behind. Reyna is not happy about that, but, it is what it is. Now, the reflections are saying what they originally thought. Like, that Reyna is the most important one, that, Mariposa has, trust issues or something.
Yeah, it's the self-doubt to character growth moment, which in these movies happens very, 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 very quickly.
Yeah.
So,
it's pretty fast.
This is for.
Yeah. But you need the self-doubt. Now, in the self-doubt, the reflections are saying this, and they get to the next checkpoint. But Reyna, because she has had growth and maturity, is like, Mariposa, you should be the one to go on. I'm sure of it. It needs to be you. You're the one that is strong enough. And then Reyna's like, I will stay, and gets blocked by the barrier. And Mariposa exits into the place with lots of lights. Cool. And we learned that these are all stars.
Good thing she's into stars. I wonder if the archer is going to show up again.
Right? I wonder if the archer is going to be pointing. Oh, a note that I have written down is, I wonder if the archer points her to the right star.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's find out. Now, these stars may hide things. They hide many things, and one has the antidote, and she has one chance to choose. And then there is a fun little phrase here where she says, the little pixie fairy, the bright one, goes, though now you may not comprehend, every riddle has an end. Search your mind for what you know, and the answer soon will show. Cool. Okay. Fantastic.
A riddle.
It's a riddle.
A riddle for sure.
It's a riddle. Now, Mariposa realizes that the stars are patterns. They're constellations, not patterns. Stop calling them patterns.
Yeah, yeah. They need some consistency, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen in this movie.
Yeah. Now, Mariposa realizes that the stars are these patterns. She sees, hey, guess what? The archer, the only one that we actually know of.
And what is it pointing at? But a star.
Right. Now, it's pointing at a star, right? And it's like, great.
One star.
But then it's like, what does the arrow point to now, is what the reflection says. And Mariposa's like, nothing. I should try again.
That bothered me, because it's like there's
very clearly a star on its own.
You know you're looking for a singular star. What do you mean nothing? It's right there. And mind you, it's set up for the next part where then she gets to do her monologue about how being alone and a little bit different isn't bad or whatever. It still bothers the hell out of me.
Oh,
there's something there.
It's visibly, it's right there.
See it.
It's Dora the Explorer levels of not seeing things.
Absolutely. Can you point us at where the star we're looking for is?
Behind you. Right there. Turn. I used to get really annoyed at Dora because she wouldn't turn around when I told her where it was.
Yeah. Now, mind you, it's because it's for babies.
I was a child.
I know, but it's for babies. She still goes really, really slow.
So Mariposa then is like, wait, there is a star there. That's the little star. It doesn't fit in with anything else. It doesn't fit in, but that doesn't mean that it's meaningless at all. It doesn't have to fit in to be important. It just needs to be themselves. Oh, look, it's the antidote. Dun, da, da. Now,
I was going to say end with that, but you're probably going to go over what happens next as well.
Oh, yeah. So, like, we have an antidote, and the one star on its own made the difference. And you saw this in your heart. It's time to see it in yourself. So the other stars come down, they sparkle, and it's pretty girl fairy transformation time. And we've got new red sparkly wings.
Yeah, big old sparkle wings. I was kind of sad that the dress didn't change, but I'll take what I can get.
I'll take a wing change.
Yeah, I'll just take a wing change. Whatever.
The stars aren't as powerful as the Enchantress.
Well, the Enchantress gave her wings, and then the berry gave her new wings when she turned back from being a mermaid, and then the six other Guardian trainees, all channeling their power into her, gave her new rainbow wings.
Right. When did the dress change?
Kind of counterproductive when the berry wings are supposed to be her true self, but whatever. The dress changed when she ate the berry in Mermaidia, and I'm pretty sure it changed in Magic of the Rainbow.
Sure, why not? Cool.
I could be losing it. To be fair, Magic of the Rainbow, very loose in here. Not a core childhood memory like the other two.
It's okay. I feel like this one's going to be a stronger memory for you.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
But we'll find out when we eventually do the next film, probably in 2025.
Yeah, probably.
So,
God, what a time frame we've devoted ourselves to.
Anyway, we started this journey in what, 22? No, 23. God. 23.
I'll look it up. You start on the next scene where Will is the true hero of the movie.
Yes, Willa makes the difference. So the others come in and they're like, oh, look, your wings are sparkly. And then the little light fairy is like, great, all of your friends are released and you'll be carried back to Flutterfield. And Rayla's like, oh, your wings are beautiful. Meanwhile, Willa, time for your moment to shine, girl. Now, Lord Gastrus says that they are doomed, and Henna thinks that they might be. Henna says that she will be faithful to the queen until the end, and Carlos shows up. He accuses Henna right away. I love this. Carlos, getting to the point. Just like, we don't have time. Henna, you bad. And says that Henna poisoned the queen, and he pulls out a vial. And she's like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. But then immediately changes because she realizes that she's been caught and tells Gastrus, yes, it was me. And it's all because of me that all of this has happened. And then she like jumps off of the platform that they're standing on and lands on the skizzards. And then the skizzards are here to eat the butterfly fairies. Carlos uses his light to get rid of one of the skizzards, but Henna is like, one light can't stop me. Ha ha ha. And Willow shows up and just goes, how about 100? And has the pixies helping out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I like that she empowered the pixies to fight back. Let's go, Willa. Empower those pixies.
Commentary on different power systems and hierarchies. I don't know. I'm just a little guy. Anyways, 2 notes. One.
Yes.
At this point in the movie, we still don't know really what Henna's motivation is.
Oh, she just wants to be queen.
That's literally, yeah. Well, she states it like 2 minutes from now, because this is like the last 5 minutes of the movie, so it concludes real fast. She just states, yeah, I just want power. 2, Barbie Fairytopia Part 1 was last year. Do you want to guess when it was?
Was it right about when we're recording this now in early September of last year?
Yep, it was August 23rd was the release date. Which means we recorded it like a little bit while before then, but
we probably recorded it in like early August, late July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool. Very consistent. So at that rate, with 4 movies in 1 year, yeah, January.
We'll see. I have some plans in the works.
You have some plans in the works. Yeah.
Look, we're going to do the 5th one.
The most important one is Barbie, all right? We all know this.
Griffin.
Highest viewer counts. Whatever.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Like the actual Barbie movie?
Yeah. The actual good one. Okay, well, guess what?
The one with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Yeah, still haven't seen it.
Guess what, dingus? It's been almost a year since it's out, and that was your line for how old a movie has to be before you see it.
I know. I realized that I've messed up.
I guess that means we got 2 movies to do.
No, right, don't do this to me.
I'll have actual commentary on, like, the Barbie movie, because it's actually a good movie.
Fair, valid. Anyway, Willa is here empowering the pixies. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And so they all start launching lights at the Skizzards, Skittles, whatever they're called. And the Mariposa and the others also get back. And Henna notices the flower and tells the Skizzards to get her. The others cover Mariposa. And she heads over to the queen, but Henna catches up to her because Mariposa is really slow with her new wings, despite, new wings.
Them being bigger, so theoretically they could push more air.
One would think, but she's like taking her sweet time getting to that queen.
They travel at the speed at which plot happens. It's like the rule for Star Wars ship travel. They can get somewhere in the speed at which plot happens. That's all that matters.
This is very true. That is very true. So Henna grabs the flower, starts picking the flower apart, and a tiny pixie notices, and I'm like, yes, tiny pixie, do it. Be the empowerment that you deserve to be. Now, they have the whole conversation of like, why are you doing this? And it's like, why serve a queen when you can be one? Beautifully delivered line, by the way. Like, fantastic. Good delivery on that line.
Yeah.
Great line. Now, the pixie joins in the chase, but from a distance so that she isn't seen. Smart pixie. Let's go, pixie. Now,
pixie.
Henna is trying to convince Mariposa to join her, and Mariposa pauses, and then they get the flower back because the pixie swoops in and is like, I got this. And Mariposa places it in front of the queen for the queen to smell, and I was like, is that
it? And it's like, is this how this flower works?
Is that all that needed to happen for like this antidote? Like you just needed to sniff the flower?
Is that you just wave it in front of somebody's face like a stupid magic wand?
I guess so. But Henna grabs it, completely rips it apart, and goes too little too late. Now, outside, the lights fully dim, and it's like, oh no, they're going to die. And then we see that like they're out of lights to throw at these Skizzards as well, which didn't make any sense to me. Why are you throwing them when all you need to do is hold on to them?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not... If you just throw it at them, they're just like, and then it falls, and then they can be like, aha. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. They should have really just like lined the place with lights.
You would think. No.
But nay.
No. But the flowers dim fully. But then they slowly start coming back to life as the queen's life has come back to her.
Wow.
The flowers open fully. They are lit, and the queen opens her eyes, and the Skizzards scatter. Everyone is thrilled, and they really need to find a different way to keep these lights on that is not connected to divine being power source.
Yeah, that seems inconsistent at best.
Yeah. Like what happens?
Movies are coming out. That's like a threat to life itself once every year.
Right? Ooh. And so Henna escapes with the Skizzards and vows to be back. And in the thanks of bravery for everyone is given a wreath as a gift. and Mariposa's is fancier than everyone else's because it has to be.
Star Wars ass ceremony sequence.
Yeah, Star Wars ceremony sequence. There you go. However, I guess the bunny also deserves one, even though Chewbacca deserved it instead. I mean, Chewbacca got one, and then it's revealed in like comics and stuff later that like Chewbacca actually gave his away or like whatever. But like, yeah, fine.
I don't know.
Poor Chewie. Now, from then on, Mariposa has learned that the best thing that you can be is yourself. We're back with Bibble and Alina. Bibble isn't worried about fitting in anymore. He is the Bibble that single-handedly beat Laverna 3 times. Finally, he is getting the credit he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Exactly. That's how it worked, yeah.
That is exactly how it went down. Bibble meets Dizzle outside and meets her friends as well, who are the Pixies from this Flutterfield land.
Which means the story is real. It's canon.
It canon.
Exists. It's not just some fake story that Alina told to make Bibble confident for his date, which is also why this whole movie happened, by the way. Remember that? Don't forget that. It's very important. But it's real.
It is real.
It's very real.
And that's what bothers me, is that she forced Bibble to eat crappy seaweed.
Yes.
Monster. Now, they're the Flutter Pixies. Bibble thanks Alina and then flies off with the others. And then the pixie that stole the flower waves goodbye, and we get Sparkles into the credits. Griffin, what's our quote?
Our quote at the end of the credits, and I feel like you could guess it because you've almost said it like multiple times. Do you want to guess? I think you could get this with like 90% accuracy.
Okay, hold on. I think it is something like, it's okay to be different. What was I saying earlier? What was I saying earlier? What did I say in the last episode that I thought it could be? Okay, so it's going to be something along the lines of like, it's okay to be different and being yourself is more important, or something along those lines.
Pretty close. I'll give it to you. I'll give you half point because the quote is, "The most beautiful thing you can be is yourself, Barbie."
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the vibes are the same.
Yeah, I said the same thing in a more complicated way.
Yeah.
I forgot that Barbie was quoting this at the end.
Yeah. Oh, the quote's always by Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I also have a word count.
Let's do it. We're in the time for
shenanigans. Cool.
Shenanigans.
Okay, so if you'll recall, Fairytopia had 4,435 words. Mermaidia had 6,721. Magic of the Rainbow had 4,119. Do you want, as someone guessed, a thousands and hundreds place number? How many words are in this movie?
5,672. That
is so goddamn close. It is 5,833.
I am taking that as a win.
That's a win. No, that's a win. And then, just because I've included this other times, 31,922 characters, 26,672 characters excluding spaces. That's just for people who really want to keep track of it. Obviously, you can do this yourself. It's kind of off because I do just copy and paste it from like the Barbie movie wiki, and they have like names in front of lines sometimes, so it gets weird.
Sure.
So that's a problem.
But here's the rough numbers.
Yeah. Anyways, you have follow-up questions and ratings, I believe.
Yes. So I have ratings. First of all, 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, a 72% on the audience score for Rotten Tomatoes.
That's not bad.
What would you rate this?
So I would probably rate it around a 60%, mostly because for whatever reason the voice acting got to me like a number of times in this movie where it was just kind of like grating. Just like there were moments where they were doing a lot of like voice cracks and it started sounding like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo to me. And it was just getting really annoying. It's like, okay, why is every single character talking like this? Why are they all pulling out like a zoink Scoob? It's like, I don't I don't need this. I would do it for a Scooby snack. I don't need this right now. So I'd have to say 60, but
Fair.
That's the only reason why.
I'm probably also just going to go with the 60. It feels like a perfectly fine movie for kids.
Follower.
You're so mean. Why do I keep inviting you back?
Because I bring in viewers.
Do you, though?
I've seen the numbers.
The issues. Cool. Yeah, it was a good time. Do you want to know what it got nominated for? Because this film has 2 nominations.
I really do. I imagine it's for the soundtrack because I did like the music.
The music was good, but the music did not get a single nomination. So at the Leo Awards, it was nominated for Best Animation Program or Series.
Okay.
And at the Kids First Film Festival, it was nominated for Best Feature Film for ages 5 through 8.
Okay, that tracks. That tracks pretty well.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You have a whiteboard. I wanted to end the episode. Why are we bringing in a whiteboard?
Bibble.
Okay.
Is very clearly the personification of the 7 deadly sins, all right? This is a biblical allegory.
I'm giving you 5 minutes. Go.
Okay. We got all of these. I'm waiting on Envy. I think that'll come in Mariposa too, because I bet it's going to be another story that she tells to Bibble because he's getting like envious or something. All right. I don't know. I'm waiting for that to prove my point. We are but puppets on Bibble's chessboard. All right. He's an eldritch being of which we have no power over. I'm trying to keep track of this in the camera, and I'm realizing the camera's actually a lot wider than it actually is. I'm gonna go insane this next movie. All right. I didn't do a research topic this movie. We're going crazy on the next one. All right.
I'll give you more of a warning on the next one.
Bibble. Where is the 7-headed beast? Is it Bibble? Who knows? Is he the Antichrist? Where is Jesus? Jesus with 2 S's. Because Bibble, they doubled the letter. So obviously there must be a character. Also, anyways, here's my actual research topic, if not just like demonic scrawlings. Hey, yeah, y'all ever been interested in what war crimes have been committed in the different Barbie Fairytopia movies? Because I was very interested in that. Anyways, we're going to use the UN definition, which essentially goes on to, where is it? War crimes are those violations of international humanitarian law, treaty, or customary law that incur individual criminal responsibility under international law as a result and in contrast to the crimes of genocide and crimes against humanity. War crimes must always take place in the context of an armed conflict, either international or non-international. Or from Google, an action carried out during the conduct of a war that violates accepted international rules of war. So, whatever. Bibble does not commit crimes. Bibble has not committed war crimes. Actually, he might have committed crimes. No war crimes. But in Barbie Fairytopia, there's the gas. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
They take hostages. I wrote down human experimentation. I don't remember exactly what I meant by that, but I think that's all has to do with that. Over here in
I like how you keep moving the whiteboard.
I know, it's over here in Mermaidia. It's so I can see it. We got the no oxygen poison that they pour into the water, and I'm going to include that in biological experimentation. That's what I had for that one. The eternal winter that they were going for in Magic of the Rainbow. That one's pretty fucked. Not gonna lie, that one's pretty fucked. Definitely in there. New from Mariposa, genocide. I'm just gonna call that genocide. Because I don't know. Turning out all the lights so that the Skizites could eat everybody. I would consider that genocide. I think that's pretty cut and clear. That
yeah,
what's gonna happen to Mariposa too?
Dude, I have no idea.
What war crimes do you think they're gonna commit? All right, we got a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Griffin's gone down a rabbit hole. I think this is the perfect time to say thank you all so much for listening.
You might think I compare Laverna to Hitler because of like the gas, and that's really on the nose. But Henna's the one who wants to do genocide. All right. Between the two antagonists,
neither's good.
More fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Cool.
I'm
well,
losing my mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. As a reminder, if we hit 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel Co-op Forge, then over on Flip the Scripts, Steven and I are going to take a look at the Twilight series and figure out if they're actually good adaptations for we just know that they're bad films. I don't want to watch, like, I really want to watch these films because it means that we've hit 500 subscribers. But like, that's our goal.
If you talk about those films, you also got to talk about the 9/11 to 50 Shades of Grey pipeline.
That might be a bonus episode that we bring you in for, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Cool.
Get excited. Yeah.
Lovely. So, be sure, help us out. If you enjoyed this episode and you're listening on another podcasting app, leave a like, leave a review. It really does help us out. Thank you all so much for listening. Griffin, if people want to find you on the internet doing things, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can find me and another friend on To Be Titled Later. If you Google it, it should come up. If you search it on any of your podcasting apps, it'll come up. Ankit said he'll put a link in the description, so that one's on him.
Yes, I will.
If you want an idea of what it's like, just imagine that last part that I did, except we don't do video, and we never will. But it's essentially that unhinged, but it's two of us. That's it.
That's pretty much it.
Later to Biddle.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's fun. I look forward to being on it soon once our schedules actually align. Right. It was hard enough to get this scheduling done.
Yeah. There were a couple reworks. In this
there were a few so, you know, Griffin, thank you so much for joining. Listeners, thank you so much for listening. And until next week, when we are starting looking at Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is going to be our Halloween episodes. And yes, I do recognize that we're probably going to be starting the Halloween episodes like in September, but it's because I have something else lined up for most of November, but I need more episodes to get that done, and I promise it'll be a good one. So Hocus Pocus is just happening a little bit earlier than originally planned, but be sure to join us next week, because I just know that there are 3 witches. Other than that, I'll catch y'all later.
Oh, yeah.
Episode and want to gain access to more bonus content, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/coopforge and signing up for any of the tiers. You get loads of different bonus content, such as notes and commentary that we have as we're watching the films, as well as some bonus audio, some bonus videos, and ad-free episodes, early access if we get them done early, and different things like that. All of that can be found at patreon.com/coopforge, and that's patreon.com/CO_OPFORGE. If you want to help out the show in a non-monetary way, that's great as well. Tell a friend about the show. Just reach out and be like, hey, you love films, or hey, you need an excuse to watch some more films. Check out the show called Post Finale. The host is an actor, and he's funny and silly, confused most of the time, but they have interesting discussions about some popular films that I think you would really enjoy. It really does help us out a lot. Be sure to talk about us on social media at Post Finale Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also follow us at Co-op Forge, that's CO_OPFORGE, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And there we post content not just from Post Finale, but also from the other shows hosted here on Co-op Forge, which are Flip the Scripts and Seattle Across the Pond. So a lot of fun things can be found over there on our social media. It really, really does help us out a lot. Thank you to everyone who has already done this. Thank you to everyone who will do this in the future. It really does mean a lot to us, and it helps us create better content for you, the listeners, as we grow. It really does help, and thank you so much for listening to this episode of Post Finale, and I can't wait until next week. And until then, I'll catch y'all later.